Brian Booth of the Mainland Boys Squad. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well.
Hey, how's it going? Talk about this Mainland Mustang squad. You guys are off to a 6-0 start and really dominating. You've scored at least 122 points in every meet, and none of these meets have really been close. What's been the secret this year?
It's more of a product of our boys and the effort that they put in before the season started. It's nice to, you look and you say, oh, Mainland's breaking records, and it's always nice to break records, but you never think that your team's going to be breaking records in the beginning of the year. It's usually an end-of-the-year kind of thing. But the effort and attitude and everything that they've done preseason to get themselves in shape has really been a key for our success this year.
How much of that is a carryover from last season? You guys won your section and really put together an outstanding season. And it seems like this group of guys, you had a lot of returners, guys like Derek Niesel, Justin Liu, Brian McGroarty, and some of these other guys, obviously, adding to that roster and really coming in with a lot of confidence, I would assume.
Yeah, they did. They built off of what we worked on last year as a team. And the one good thing with I tell everyone about our team this year is there's such a good group of boys, and they're friends with each other, and they like being around each other. They do, just wonderful things like after practice, they have, dinner, and they go out, and they like spending time with each other. So I think when you're doing things that you like with people that you like, it makes it that much more fun and enjoyable.
Talk with Brian Booth of the Mainland Boys Swimming Team. Coach, how much can you tell about your team in December? Obviously some of these kids are coming off of different sports, kind of got to get into swimming shape again. That might take a few weeks. A guy like Mike Giuliano coming off of football and some of these other guys. How much can you really tell about your team in the first few weeks, and are you happy with where you're at now?
We could tell right away. Our first meet, we swam Atlantic City and, put together a decent lineup to see where we'd be as a team. And we have it's a PowerPoint chart. It's a little different than normal football PowerPoints, and you have to take the time that each kid swims in a race, and it equates to a point value, and you add it up, and that's how we get placed for our playoffs. And I just did like a preliminary one of those, and we were, without really being our best lineup, we were right where we were as a team last year, as in our first meet, which was a good sign for us to say that we knew we had a lot more things to do that could change to make us stronger. And we're still fine-tuning a few things for the second half of the year, trying to figure out, a couple spots where we're going to it'll just make us a little bit stronger. And, and relay-wise, the same. Just trying to find the right combinations to make us the best we can be.
Now, do you go into a meet, say a December meet, with a set lineup, or do you kind of adjust as the meet's going on? Say you have a 40-point lead. Hey, let me get some of these younger guys into these relays and see what I have here for the later in the year.
It depends on it. We really don't change too much during the races unless something medically happens to a kid. Our lineup's pretty much set going in, but we know also going in sometimes that there's some meets that we'll have. Everyone's going to try and get into an individual event and swim, but then there's other ones that the team knows that, it's going to be held more for our top kids.
Now, you got a pretty...
Everyone will swim.
Right.
Everyone swims in a meet. It's just what they're swimming will change depending on who we're swimming.
Pretty big week for you guys coming up next week. You have Ocean City on Wednesday, Egg Harbor Township on Friday, and then a really big meet on January 11th at St. Augustine Prep. What's the mindset of your guys coming into January here? They got a little bit of a break maybe this weekend in terms of meets. I'm sure you guys have had practice or haven't practiced this weekend. But what's the mindset of the guys coming into this week? This is really kind of a defining week for your season to say, hey, let's see what kind of team we really have here.
They're excited. They're excited to get back in the pool. That's the one thing with this team that it's so fun to be around is obviously everyone kind of gets, you get into the doldrums of practice. Our boys have been fighting through some good Christmas training practice, but they're chomping at the bit to get back and start racing again. and seeing the work that we've been doing, see how that's going to pay off. And they're excited. They know, that the Ocean City and EHT meets will be a good lead up for Monday for the prep meet. Obviously, that one's been circled on our calendar since the beginning of the year. That's always one of our biggest meets. They've been the model swim team in South Jersey for 10, 12 years. That everyone's looked at to say, they're the team, and it's always a goal to be competitive with them and see how well we can do.
You going to go on record and say you're going to beat the prep?
I would never do that. I would never.
That's definitely going to be a huge meet this year, though.
Be competitive.
Yeah, obviously St. Augustine is the top dog around here when it comes to swimming, boys swimming in South Jersey. How do you handle this week, knowing that meet is on Monday? And obviously you have two really tough teams coming up in Ocean City and Egg Harbor Township. How do you keep these kids from looking ahead? I mean, I'm sure they're obviously amped up to go against the prep and really have some confidence that they might be able to beat the prep. But you also got two really tough meets this week. So how do you handle that situation?
Yeah, well, we're going to just look at it, one at a time. We'll get through Wednesday, and see what we need to do to get ready for Friday. And then we practice, which is fun. We practice all together with our girls at the same time. Mm-hmm. But looking at, this Saturday coming up, a week from today, our girls there's a all-girls meet over in Atlantic City, which gives us time to have the whole pool for ourselves to get ready for the prep on Monday. So it'll be a nice thing for our boys to just kind of have their own little space in our pool for a day that we can just get to work, fine-tune a couple little things. So I think they're excited for that too.
We're talking with head coach Brian Booth of the Mainland boys swimming team. Mustangs off to a 6-0 start. Got some really tough meets in the next 7 or 8 days. Coach, talk about the Ocean City meet. Obviously, always a huge rivalry in any sport, no matter what it is. But swimming, really a great atmosphere when you guys get together with Ocean City. A lot of fans come out, a lot of buzz, and just teenagers screaming for about an hour and a half straight.
It can be loud, and we'll be over in Ocean City's pool, which is usually one of our louder ones that we go to. It's exciting for the boys too, because obviously with the proximity between the two of us, a lot of them work together in the summer on different beach patrols, and they know each other. So it's got a little, and that's the same with Egg Harbor Township too. We just yesterday went over and did that Ocean City polar bear plunge.
Right.
EHT challenged us to come over as a team and jump in the ocean, which, we had with the boys and girls here, we had about 25 kids go over and jump in the ocean, which they thought was fun before they jumped in. I don't know how much they thought it was when they got out.
Were you one of the ones that jumped in?
I was videographer. I was team videographer.
Nice.
I took over your role, a camera in hand.
There you go.
Just made sure they were safe.
Hey, you're smart, man. You don't get to this position without being smart.
It was a good time.
Talk about some of your boys maybe we haven't heard much about. I mean, a lot of people have heard about Justin Liu obviously breaking a lot of school records, Brian McGroarty, Derek Kniesel. These are some of your big time guys, but some of the other guys who have really helped you off to this 6-0 start. Guys like Joey Rogers and Glenn Lasco. Who else has really been surprising you so far this year?
First you got to always talk about your seniors. James Gallagher, who has had, he's not a name that you read in the paper every day, but has just put forth just a solid effort, not just, in meets, but he sets the example for us at practice. Chris Bradley is another, he's a junior boy, another one who just, he's a leader, every day at practice. Mike Giuliano is one of our senior boys. He's rounding finally back into some swimming shape after being on the football field all fall. It takes him a while to get rolling. And then I've got a freshman boy, Eric Trong, whose brother graduated last year for us, Brandon.
Right, yeah.
But Eric stepped right into his brother's shoes and is doing a phenomenal job for us also.
Good stuff. We'll let you get back to work here, Coach, and thanks for taking a few minutes. Good luck in the next 7 or 8 days.
All right, you got it. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
I see you.
That's head coach Brian Booth of the Mainland swimming team.